This might be the rarest Ferrari we've ever restored. Can you believe it? This extremely rare Ferrari 250 GT, over 60 years old, was rescued from a garage hit by a hurricane. The paint was peeling in multiple areas. The body panels were heavily rusted, and, except for the engine, everything made noise. Even the 60-year-old V12 heart had already stopped. Needless to say, the situation was worse. Rats had made nests inside the car, and even our moon horse emblem and taillights were soaked. We want to bring it back to the peak it had over 60 years ago. Watch as we completely disassemble and renovate it. Can you imagine what it will look like when fully restored? No more talking. We're diving straight into the teardown. At this point, we discovered that the paint had actually been resprayed at some point. The thickness of the paint varied across different parts of the body. No wonder it was cracking. This also indicates that the body panels themselves had uneven surfaces. The electromechanical team stepped in to check all the wiring and equipment throughout the car, noting which electrical components needed replacement and taking stock of the required parts. Meanwhile, the leather covering on the dashboard had also aged and cracked. Every piece of it felt like it could crumble into fragments at any moment. Next, we began dismantling the interior. The dashboard was overrun with weeds, and who knows, there might even have been a few mice hiding inside. Many electrical switches were missing from the dashboard, and these parts would have to be carefully fabricated by hand. The wiring inside the dashboard was tangled with weeds and twigs, so the technicians had to painstakingly sort everything out, one wire at a time. Under the seats, all the foam had deteriorated into crumbling bits. With that cleared, we prepared to remove the chassis from the rest of the car, first taking out the engine, our beloved V12 heart of the machine. This is the engine in all its glory. Even some weeds had made their way inside. Hopefully the internal condition isn't too bad. Now, what you see are all the parts of the car. Due to the tight schedule, all the workshop technicians jumped in to participate in the restoration. The engine had quite a few issues. We started by clearing out the weeds. It was truly a heartbreaking sight. One piston ring was completely rusted, and the valves faced three major problems: clogging from carburetor looseness, carbon buildup, and rust. Next, we continued dismantling the remaining camshafts. Fortunately, this part didn't have serious issues and only required detailed cleaning and maintenance. The engine parts were sent for ultrasonic cleaning, while the valve seals had to be replaced with new ones. Meanwhile, the electromechanical workshop was testing the engine's electrical components and voltage. The engine block, due to its precise structure, couldn't be sandblasted to refurbish the surface, so the technicians manually cleaned and restored the steel surfaces. After cleaning, the valves were treated with valve vibrator to address some sticking and seizing issues. They were then tested for leaks using kerosene. With this, the valve refurbishment was complete. At the same time, the piston rings and other steel components were also fully cleaned and restored. Next came the clearance testing of all engine components. Due to the car's age and the lack of original documentation, we had to spend a great deal of effort to ensure everything met the required standards. Assembly then began. Once the engine was assembled, it underwent a series of operational tests in preparation for the final real-world test. Let's hear the self-starting V12 roar back to life over 60 years later. After testing, the engine was sent to the workshop for protective coating. With that, the engine restoration was complete and ready to be reinstalled. Meanwhile, work on the car body continued, starting with the paint stripping process.
Wow, the paint layers are so thick. No wonder they've started peeling away. The resin couldn't hold up at all. Watching each flake gently lift off is oddly satisfying, like peeling away years of history, layer by layer.
No wonder the paint was peeling off. The layers were so thick. The resin just couldn't handle it. Every nook and cranny needed a thorough cleaning. So much residual dirt and sand. Once the car surface was properly cleaned, it was sent to the paint shop for a primer coat. After the primer, let's take a look at the chassis frame. In areas like this, the metal is as thin as a cicada's wing. There are dozens of such spots across the car. Just one careless tap could puncture these panels, and honestly, it's a bit scary. Next, our bodywork technicians took over the scene to reshape the body of this classic Ferrari. The first step was welding internal support braces to prevent any secondary deformation while repairing the chassis panels. The 250 GT has an iron frame structure, so we selected the same type of repair material, cutting it to size. Straight and curved lines were marked on the sheet metal, and the bending machine was adjusted according to the size of each repair area. This process was repeated to create repair pieces for different sections of the car. Before applying the epoxy primer, this layer helps prevent corrosion and rust, ensuring the repaired panels won't develop new rust problems. It also provides a solid base for the top coat to adhere to. With that, our repair pieces are essentially complete. Now, all that remains is to cut out the damaged areas and replace them with the newly fabricated sections. Next, we mounted components like the hood and doors onto the car for fitment adjustments. During this process, we continuously fine-tuned the gaps and spacing between parts to match the original car as closely as possible. The next step was to prime the chrome trim pieces, but before that, there was a lot of test fitting to ensure everything aligned perfectly. Once the test fitting with the car was complete, the exterior panels were ready for further refinement. The body was then sent to the paint shop for filler work and primer spraying. Using a putty scraper, the filler was carefully applied and leveled to ensure a smooth surface. The surface was carefully hand sanded to restore perfect smoothness and evenness. The epoxy primer was then sprayed. After the primer, the body required a second round of body adhesive work. Completing the filler and primer slightly affected the fitment of the components, so this assembly was done to correct that and further minimize gap tolerances. Earlier, we noticed corrosion on the front grille. Our technicians began restoring it using the same wood mold technique we used for our Ferrari Euros replicas. For those interested, the full Euros restoration video is on our homepage. Now, back to the restoration.
First, the wood panels were cut and shaped into the rough form. Glue was applied and the pieces were pressed, cut, and sanded to remove excess material. It's crucial to strictly follow the original car's curvature, paying close attention to corner details. Once the wood mold was ready, the chassis materials were applied vertically to match the outer contour of the front grille. Finally, the completed outer contour of the grille was installed in sequence with the prefabricated metal frame.
With that, our front grille restoration was complete, ready to be mounted back on the car. The steering wheel had also aged and cracked, so our woodcraft technician had to custom make a replacement. First, the wood panels were cut to the appropriate size, then layered and glued together in a press. This step had to be done very carefully. Any breakage would mean the entire piece of wood would be ruined. While waiting for the steering wheel to cure, we polished the metal core. Based on the wheel's dimensions, we carefully confirmed the positions of the matching slots and marked them. The alignment grooves were cut precisely so that the steering wheel could be assembled accurately, and then everything was carefully sanded to ensure smooth operation. Next, we switched to sandpaper for further hand sanding. Finally, a protective coating was applied, and just like that, the restoration was complete. At this stage, our technicians began restoring the dashboard and surrounding panels. First, all components were removed, and the bare dashboard was sent to the paint shop for repainting and leather refurbishment. The technicians carefully adjusted and tested each instrument. Any parts that couldn't be repaired were custom fabricated by hand, for example, this copper wiring piece. After restoring the paint and leather surfaces, the refurbished components were reinstalled in sequence. With that, our dashboard restoration was complete. Meanwhile, in the paint shop, the car body was prepared for a 4-layer paint application. As expected, the vibrant Ferrari red immediately catches the eye. At this stage, the paint is not yet in its final form. The technicians continue to polish and sand the surface meticulously, working until the paint achieves a mirror-like finish, perfectly restoring the car's original luster. The seats, sofas, and interior were completely deteriorated. First, the foam and cushions were separated. The core padding had aged to the point it no longer provided support, and even the rebound foam showed signs of crumbling like biscuits. Everything was removed for inspection, and the remaining frame parts were sent to the rust removal machine for cleaning. The difference is immediately obvious once compared. Next, the cleaned frames were fitted with new rebound structures to restore support and shape. Next, the foam cushions were restored. High-density foam was selected as the support layer and bonded to the frame. Support wires were embedded within the high-density foam to provide structural stability. Then, low-density foam was cut and added to enhance the seat's rebound and comfort. The combination of high and low-density foam ensures a comfortable experience for the driver and passengers. Next, the original leather was measured to determine spacing and dimensions. Using the old leather as a template, the new leather was cut to size. After sewing all the leather pieces together and covering the foam seats, the seat restoration was complete. Other interior components were refurbished simultaneously. In the final step, all the refurbished components were reinstalled onto the car. First, the entire wiring harness and electrical units were carefully laid out. The next step was to install the heart of the car, the engine, back into its place. Every key interior component was carefully reinstalled one by one. Now let's take a moment to admire the final result together. Restoring the exterior alone isn't enough. Every car we restore undergoes real-world testing on the road with high-intensity dynamic trials to verify the quality of our craftsmanship.
That wraps up this episode of the Ferrari 250 GT restoration. See you next time. Don't miss it.